Yes, I'm finally back. As you see on the title, I'm in the mood to do a Transformer video today. This is my top 5 favorite Transformer series. This is just my favorites that I enjoyed. I will have a worst Transformer series pick, and that series is Beast Machines. I mean, honestly, that series was just bizarre, and the cast admitted later that they didn't feel right and they were just there just to get a paycheck. That's how bad a show can be if you got the cast admitting that they were there just to get a paycheck. That's really a shame. What, to make a show just for the cast just to have a paycheck. That's really a shame. But enough with the delays. This is my top 5 favorite Transformer shows. Basically, these are the series that I enjoy the most. If you have some favorites, please comment below, and I'm probably going to be the first person to ever do this, so I challenge anybody to make a better list. But anyway, let's get started. Coming in at number 5, Transformers Animated. This was the first series that was original and not acquired animation, is what they're called. That's what Armada was. No disrespect to that series. And that's I almost forgot. That series gets an honorable mention. It has some good stories, but I just hated the kids. Ugh. That show had the most annoying kids I've ever seen in my life. And that's the stone cold truth. Anyway, this was the first brand new Transformers series right after the movie came out, and while it had some crazy characters, I didn't like the human villains. Actually, I hated them with a passion, with the exception of Meltdown. He was actually the only villain that could actually do damage to the Transformers because he could hurt their armor. And I enjoyed the characters they had, like Lockdown. The Decepticon bounty hunter. They had some good Decepticon stories and some good Autobot stories, and a good group of cast too. They had a very good cast in this series, in my opinion. Number 4, I think this is the most underrated Transformers show in the 20. Hold on, give me a second. In the 25 plus years that the Transformers have been around, I think this is the most underrated franchise in its history. I think it's the most underrated, in my opinion, was this Transformers Robots in Disguise. This was a show that was made in Japan, but was brought over to the US, and it has some very interesting characters. Like, I like this rivalry that they had with Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus when they were brothers. They're actually brothers. Ultra Magnus is jealous of Optimus because he wasn't chosen as the Autobot leader, because of the Matrix chose Optimus. And this one felt more old school Transformers. And the thing is, because Michael McConaughey, who did the voice of Drax and Cosmos in Transformers Generation 1, directed a good percent of these episodes, and he made Optimus Prime feel like the old Optimus Prime from G1. He wanted Optimus Prime to feel like Optimus Prime in this series. And Skybite, very interesting character as well. And the actor who did the voice for him, he should have been given an award for him because he was that good. He made Skybite, even though he was a villain, he made him a very likable character. That's just my opinion, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And they had some homage to the G1 show, like they had the Combaticons on the shit series, but they were actually Decepticons, and they had original names too. And it's very interesting how they had the Autobots and the Predacons in this series as the Warren factions. I remember thinking to myself that was very bizarre to have. I guess they wanted to bring fans who were Beast Wars fans into the series. And I think it was pretty good. And it was just, in my opinion, the most underrated show in the franchise. Number 3. I'm probably going to be making some guesses on this, but I'm picking Transformers Prime, the original series on the Hub. I mean, this series is actually very good. It has some very good storylines, very good character designs and development, very good episodes. They only had like 1 or 2 episodes that were not that something to call home about, but still, the Transformers Prime is actually really good. Even if you showed a casual cartoon fan a few of these episodes, they probably would think it was very good. I mean, they actually got some very good writing, a strong cast of great voice actors, and it really brings you into the show. Really smart show, in my opinion. Number 2, Transformers Beast Wars, a franchise that took place 300 years in the future after the Transformers Generation 1, but they ended up in the past because of Megatron. He wanted to steal the golden disc to make it change history, literally, and it's up to Optimus Primal and the Maximals to stop the Predacons. I like this series a lot. I wish it could have been made my favorite, but still, they have some great characters like Cheetor, Dinobot, Rhinox, Scorponok, Pterosaur, Waspinator. Very good voice casting and a really interesting storyline. They have a series take place in the future and yet it ends up in the past. Really good episodes, in my opinion. And this series saved the Transformers, if you want to know the truth. In my opinion, this really saved the franchise in the 90s. Because this series really gave the franchise the big shot in the arm it needed to get itself back on top again. Number 1, no contest, Transformers Generation 1, the series that started it all. Without this series, we wouldn't have a Beast Wars or a Transformers Prime or animated or Robots in Disguise. All these other Transformer franchises and movies. This series was the one that started it all. You have the Decepticons and the Autobots fighting on Cybertron in a civil war. They end up on Earth. And like I say, the rest is history. It's basically, without this, we would not have Transformers. And that's the Stone Cold truth. Excuse me. You got some classic characters like Soundwave, Starscream, Jazz, Cliffjumper, Ironhide, Optifine, Megatron, Thundercracker, Bumblebee, etc., etc. This series had it all. It had something for everybody. One of the greatest shows in the 80s and possibly. And this was without doubt the best Transformers franchise in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Take care. Autobots transform. Roll out.